Hi, and welcome to this video on job interviews. Many people find job interview situations quite challenging, and especially when you're asked difficult or negative oriented questions. By the end of this video, you'll be able to understand the basic requirements of different types of job interviews and identify structure, format, and common types of interview questions so you're able to prepare yourself better. Let's first consider some important factors about job interviews. Firstly, you need to think about interview types, whether it's a one-on-one or a group interview. And as with all communication, understanding the audience and their needs and concerns is very important. You also need to be aware of common and uncommon question types. During the interview, you need to strike a balance between being informative or persuasive. Finally, both verbal and non-verbal communication are influential factors. As mentioned before, they are used to enhance your message to sound confident and convincing, but if not managed or controlled well, they can also have negative effects. One-to-one interviews are the most common types. Your spoken communication is directed to one person and in some ways can be more personal if a rapport is developed with the interviewer. You're able to make a stronger impression, but on the flip side, all the attention and the focus is on you, so if you make a mistake, it's very easy to see. With panel interviews, they're usually made up of over 3 interviewers. Non-verbal communication is important here as more than one person is able to see more of your gestures and your body language. In group interviews, you'll be able to you're put together with other interviewees and perhaps been given a group task where you have to display a variety of skills that show you can be a leader as well as a team player. Next, let's look at interview format and structure. Most of them begin with the question, "Tell me about yourself," where you give a brief introduction of your key skills, qualities, together with some previous roles or experiences that will make you suitable for the job. It's important to make a very good impression during your self-introduction, as studies have shown that many employees make their decisions within the first 5 minutes of a job interview. Next, the main types of questions are related to your previous experience, as mentioned in your CV, and behavioral questions asking you to comment on what you would do in certain situations or how you would react. These can also be negative oriented, such as asking you about your weaknesses or difficulties, problems or mistakes. At the end, you're likely to be asked if you have any questions for the interviewer. This is a good opportunity to show your interest towards the job or company, and it's good to prepare at least 5 to 6 questions about the job, company or industry. Make sure you do your research in those 3 key areas, but don't ask any questions related to pay, benefits or holidays, especially if it's the first interview. So let's look at how to answer interview questions. The key factor is always to make sure that whatever you say matches to the skills and requirements of the job. You must be informative, as this shows you fulfill the job requirements, but also you have to balance this with sounding persuasive and convincing to motivate the employer to choose you. We'll focus more on these 2 aspects in another video in this module, but I'll briefly introduce you to 3 ways to make your answers effective. First, RESA. Your relevant experience, skills, achievements and awards will help persuade your interviewer that you have what it takes. Make sure what you say is always relevant to the job. So, how can you structure your content? There are 2 possible ways that will make your answers more informative and persuasive. So here's a DLCT. What does it stand for? It says what you did and learned from your previous jobs and positions informs the interviewer about your suitability. How you contributed or transferred your skills from one job to the other can help persuade the employer that you're the right person. Another possible structure is the S.T.A.R Method. You inform your potential employer briefly about the situation and the task you were involved in and persuade him or her by what actions you took and the possible results that came out of it. Finally, how direct you are and how you use verbal and non-verbal communication strategies to enhance your message can have both positive and negative impacts on your job interview performance. As I mentioned, we'll look at directness, speaking to inform and persuade in later videos in this module. But always remember to match yourself to the job. So, after watching this video, you should now be able to understand the basic requirements of different types of job interviews and also identify how to structure or possible formats or common types of interview questions. Thank you for watching.